Chapter 15. The Law of Gestation. There is a natural gestation period for all acts of creation. The bigger the goal, the longer the gestation period. Just like seeds that take time to grow before they yield fruit, our dreams and goals must be nurtured and cared for over time until they are manifested into reality. Patience and perseverance allow for dreams to become reality. All acts of creation manifest in their own time. When something doesn't manifest on our schedule, it means we have a false expectation and we're out of alignment with truth. In that case, either the creation itself needs more time, or we haven't become who we need to become in order to be worthy of the creation. The gestational period applies both to the creation itself as well as to the Creator. For the creation to manifest, the Creator must become equal to the creation. The gestation period serves two purposes. First, it gives us time to take the practical steps required to achieve the vision. And second, it proves that we'll pay the price. Anything worth truly manifesting is worth trading time and effort to achieve. If your dream is worth achieving, then you need the staying power to stick with it regardless of time or obstacles. Most people fail at great ideas because they want it all to happen now. They're not willing to pay the proper price for their dream. With the right expectation, you can stick to the effort required to gestate and birth your creation. The gestational period for mice is 20 days. A human baby takes 9 months. For elephants, it takes 22 months. This is a simple way to visualize the truth that the bigger your goal, the longer the required gestational period. Many people get discouraged when they create an expectation of when something should manifest and it doesn't manifest on their expected time schedule. The truth is that we are not that great at guessing accurately the required gestational period for acts of creation. Others see the long, hard road ahead of them. They have a sense of how much time it will take. So instead of nourishing their vision with small, consistent actions, they freeze up and that vision dies in the womb. What would happen if an expecting mother were to somehow take a break from making her baby for a day? The fetus could be harmed or even die. Similarly, we kill our dreams when we take a break from gestating by investing in counterproductive thoughts, believing in counter-evidence, or doubt the viability of our creation. This is an unfolding process. You just take action today without knowing how it will develop exactly. One step leads to another. Doors open up that you didn't even see before. You follow your bliss and meet people, form new relationships. These open even more doors. Small, consistent actions in the right direction are the key. You have to trust the process, and you have to persevere. You have no way of knowing the gestation period of your creation until you get there. You get to learn to become present and take your creation one day at a time. It's arrogant to think we can take everyone else's free will and all other circumstances into account and create an accurate expectation for something we have never done. Creation and living limitless is all about stepping into results and creations you have never manifested. You get to master being present, patient, and at peace to create space for your creation to manifest. There are ways to quicken the gestation period. For example, the purer your beliefs, the shorter the gestation period. The more consistent you are with your belief breakthrough and alignment work, the less you impede the gestation period and the more you allow things to manifest on the perfect timetable. Remember that the gestation period is about creating yourself as much as it is about manifesting your vision into physical reality. Suppose you want to become a millionaire, but you have 30 false beliefs preventing you from doing so. Changing one of those false beliefs will not manifest $1 million overnight. In this case, during the gestational period, you will need to change every false belief that prevents you from achieving your goal. Perhaps these beliefs include, money is the root of all evil, or rich people are unethical, and so on. Christ spoke of having the faith of a mustard seed. A mustard seed, if planted today, does not bear fruit tomorrow. It first manifests as a tiny sprout. That sprout grows into a bigger plant with its first leaf and so forth. The mustard seed has faith that it will unfold as it was meant to, all in its own time, and you must have the same faith in your vision and yourself. As you work toward your purpose and uproot your false beliefs, you'll start seeing evidence that something is happening, but at first you will not see fruit. You must continue the journey. Improvement does not always manifest in immediate achievement. The seeds of success you plant today must be cultivated and nourished over time. Achievement is often made up of months, years, even decades of trying and failing and manifesting small results one at a time until eventually your greatest creations grow to fruition and bear fruit. One critical key to applying the law of gestation is to learn the right lessons along the journey. As we set out to achieve any goal, we either achieve the goal or we don't. But even if we don't achieve the goal, with the right mindset, we can learn valuable lessons and, in effect, still be successful as a result. If we learn the right lessons, we can gain wisdom that can help us the next time we set out to achieve something. Consider the diagram on the following page, which I refer to as the Results and Lessons of Success quadrant. In Quadrant 1, the upper left, you get your desired result and you learn valuable lessons. This is a success by any measure. In Quadrant 2, the lower left, you achieve your result, but you don't learn any new lessons. This is still a success. In Quadrant 3, the upper right, you don't achieve the desired result, but you still learned the right lessons from the experience. This is still a success. The problem comes in Quadrant 4, where we neither get our result nor learn the right lesson from the experience. In this quadrant, we become a victim of our failed attempt. We blame ourselves, others, or both. We see nothing redeeming about our experience. You interpret your failure as evidence that if you try, you will fail. Whatever you do, do not get stuck in that quadrant. It's too easy to be in one of the other quadrants and to choose success by either achieving your desired result, learning valuable lessons, or both. How the law of gestation and belief breakthrough work together. Applying the law of gestation takes patience. Belief breakthrough is one of the most effective ways to cultivate the patience necessary to manifest great things. As our dreams and goals are in the process of manifesting, it can be very tempting and easy to interpret events in negative ways. The deal fell through. It must not be meant to be. He won't even take my call. I'll never be able to make that connection. My business failed. I'm doomed to fail. But as challenging events arise, we can use belief breakthrough work to find the lessons and create beliefs that continue building our faith and patience through the gestation period. The deal fell through. When it happens, it will be even better than it was structured. He won't even take my call. What an excellent chance to build my perseverance. My business failed. Look at all the lessons I learned in the process. I'm so much closer to success now. Managing and improving our beliefs through the gestation period keeps us motivated and on track. Case study. Hailala goes to Japan. I first met Hailala at a Limitless event. She had a major life goal that deep down she didn't think would ever be possible, but it happened much sooner and in a way she never would have expected. Here is her story in her own words. I saw my first anime movie in 2009 and I fell in love. That and my love for sushi gave me a bit of an obsession with Japan. Ever since then, I have wanted to visit Japan. In fact, I would move to Japan if I could. Several years later, my husband attended a Conscious Creator event with Kris Krohn. After that event, he and I sat down and started talking about our goals and writing them down. Going to Japan was at the top of my list. I even went and got my passport to get the ball rolling. I did some research on flights and other details, and for a family of 5, it was just too expensive. It didn't look like it was going to happen, at least not anytime soon. So I pushed it to the side. I had it on my vision board, but I didn't actively work on it because it just seemed so far away. In September of 2015, my husband and I were at a retreat with a friend who goes to Japan every year. We talked with him a long time about it. As we were talking, I kept hearing a voice in the back of my head saying, "It's never going to happen. It would take a huge miracle." After that conversation, I felt deflated and kind of gave up on the idea. But then, in October, I attended the Limitless seminar. I had some major breakthroughs and something ignited within me. I wrote down my list of goals again, this time believing they would be possible. Again, Japan was at the top of my list, but I still didn't know how I was going to make it happen. I started doing belief breakthrough every day. I zeroed in specifically on beliefs that would prevent me from achieving my dream of visiting Japan. I felt like I was not worthy of receiving my dream, so I worked hard to change that belief in myself. I attended the next Limitless event in November. This time, I brought my friend who regularly visits Japan with me. During the event, he told me he was looking for someone to go with him in the spring and asked if I'd be interested. He teaches hula dancing in Japan, and since I'm a Polynesian dance instructor, he wanted me to come and help him teach. Of course, I was ecstatic and eager to go. We discussed flight and hotel costs. It was a lot cheaper than if I were to go with my family, but still a bit much for me. I kind of left it hanging. I was afraid that if I pursued it too hard, the opportunity would disappear. A couple months later, in January of 2016, I sat down one day and wrote down all my goals along with a detailed plan for how to achieve each of them. I set a goal to visit Japan that year. The very next day, my friend randomly called me. He told me that if I could go, he would pay for everything. Furthermore, he would pay me $1,000 for helping him teach dance lessons. I discussed it with my husband and he told me to go. Everything aligned just perfectly. We went in April and spent a week there. Everything was paid for and they treated us like royalty. We ate at all the best restaurants. It was everything I had dreamed of and more. It was one of the best, most memorable experiences of my life. What's more, it's looking like I will be able to do the same trip every year. This was a lesson in timing for me. For the many years that I had my goal, things would keep coming up to get me engaged in the goal again, and then nothing would happen. The timing had to be just right. And what enabled the timing was belief breakthrough work. Had the opportunity arose before I learned that, I would not have been able to go, not because I was any different, but because I had to give myself time to work on my beliefs. He had multiple opportunities to invite me, but didn't until the time was right. I needed to prepare myself, and when I did, the timing fell into place just perfectly. Take action and apply the law of gestation. Number 1, journal about a time you set out to accomplish something and did. In hindsight, what meaningful lessons did you learn about yourself that enabled you to succeed? Number 2, now think of a goal from the past that you set but didn't achieve and felt a sense of failure about it. Make a list of any false beliefs you have reinforced from not achieving your goal. Make a corresponding list of new beliefs that will help you. What meaningful lessons are you learning in your attempts to achieve the goal? What new beliefs do you get to instill about gestation, patience, and perseverance to create the necessary space to achieve your goal? Here are some selected quotes on the topic discussed in this chapter. If you can find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. Frank A. Clark. Genius is eternal patience. Michelangelo. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Christian D. Larson.